Obviously state preferences for bigger units of 2 bedrooms or maybe sometimes even rare cases 3 bedrooms, but more often than not the most economic option and the option that makes sense the most for them is a 1+1. In today's video, why I think 1+1 units will be more in demand than 2 bedroom units in downtown Toronto. Let's get to it. Hello everyone, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate and Remax Realtron Realty. As always, back with another video for you guys here today. You can find my contact information in the description box with regards to my Gmail, my Instagram, and my office. Feel free to go find me on Instagram. You can find my contact information from my office. Get in touch with me with any questions you may have with regards to the Toronto real estate market or the GTA real estate market, or any topics covered in this video or any topics covered in previous videos. Lastly, feel free to subscribe, comment, rate, and review. Your support in terms of a subscription and a like on this video is greatly appreciated. By, as I always say, you're not obliged to do so whatsoever. Feel free to not to subscribe, not to comment, and dislike if you want to. But if you happen to enjoy my videos, your support once again in that regard is greatly appreciated. And one note of housekeeping before we get into the content of today's video, the topic where I'm going to discuss. Your feedback is always greatly appreciated, and I always take people's and viewers of this channel, your feedback, into great consideration. So there's a poll up on my channel. I want you to go vote. I'm asking people if you guys would like to see a new series from me where I go building by building, some of the most prominent, famous, for good or bad reasons, buildings in the city of Toronto and the GTA in terms of condominiums, and I review them. I give you some basic numbers with regards to an average unit type in that building, some facts you should know, who built it, some of the downsides, some of the stories with regards to that building, just to give you a general understanding of the most famous and mostly transacted buildings in the city of Toronto and the GTA with regards to the prices and all the numbers and the news stories that you should know with regards to those buildings. So feel free to let me know if you would want to see a series like that or you really don't care. So that poll is up on my channel. Anyways, let's get to the point of today's video, which, as I aforementioned in the beginning, the teaser of this video, why I think 1+1 unit types, specifically in the downtown Toronto area, so we're talking about C8 and C1, will see more demand in 2 bedroom, 2 washroom units. First, let me establish the following things. We're assuming the massive return of the worker base that needs to have proximity to work, once again, as a higher priority than otherwise earlier in the year and last year. We're assuming that massive return to the downtown core of working professionals is going to occur. We're also assuming towards the winter months and next year, we're going to see more immigration, and we're going to see the government of Canada meet its migration targets once things open up again. Lastly, we're going to assume, and once again, these assumptions are based on reasonable inferences. I'm not just assuming for the sake of assuming, but we're going to assume that most of the investor portfolio in the city of Toronto, in other words, put condominium investors who transact in the city of Toronto, most likely than not, they usually invest and transact in 1+1 units, which is true. Not to say no condominium investor buys 2 bedroom units or bachelors as investment properties, but most often than not, if you're a condominium investor, you're more likely to buy a 1+1 or a 1 bedroom unit as opposed to a 2 bedroom unit or a 2+1. And we're talking about pure investors. We're not talking about end users who are end users in the short term, but investors in the long term. We're talking about people who are going to purchase a property as an investment condominium, not live in it, keep it vacant until they find a tenant to rent it out. First and foremost, working professionals who are going to return to the downtown core because the offices are opening up once again, more often than not, they're gonna seek 1+1 units. Now, this can be in terms of rentals or purchase and sale. For those who are going to rent a 1+1 in downtown, it is possible that when the whole worldwide event occurred and there was a mass exodus from the downtown core from working professionals, it's possible they purchased something further up north, further west, further east, basically in the suburbs of the GTA, which is large landmass, large surface area. But more likely than not, if they're going to return to the downtown core to rent, they probably did not purchase something. They probably either rented something further out for a bigger space and a cheaper price, or they moved back with their parents or a family. So these people are either going to return to downtown to rent, or they're going to return to downtown to make a purchase. And usually when you're looking at a buyer of this type, Obviously, state preferences for bigger units of 2 bedrooms, or maybe sometimes even rare cases 3 bedrooms, but more often than not, the most economic option and the option that makes sense the most for them is a 1+1. Now that's for the demand side. On the supply side of things, most people who own downtown units that are 2 bedrooms, 2 washrooms, or 2+1s, typically, once again, as I aforementioned, tend not to be investors. And that is to say they're end users who are either personally occupying the unit themselves or their sons and daughters or family members are occupying the unit. It's far more likely that units available for rent for this aforementioned demand that is going to rush back in the downtown core to be 1+1 units. So we have a situation where we have a segment of the population, a segment of the demand that is most likely going to be attracted to 1+1s, and we have inventory that is most likely going to be available in the type of 1+1s. I think this has the makings for a hot, vibrant market for 1+1s, wherein the competition for 1+1s, the number of transactions for 1+1s will be much more than 2-bedroom units. Now, do not get this wrong. 2-bedroom units will still, on average and in median, cost more than 1+1s. Sure, you'll have your 1+1 that in rare instances is going to cost you more than a 2-bedroom unit. Point here is in terms of percentage increase of price and also in terms of the number of transactions, I see 1+1s seeing larger increases in those 2 previously mentioned categories than 2 bedrooms. Whereas 2 bedrooms, yes, will still cost people more per square foot, but I see the competition and the amount of inventory available in the coming months. Once again, we're talking about late 2021, early 2022, and well into the winter months. I see the competition for 2-bedroom units being less than 1+1 units. Anyways, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate and Remax Realtron Realty. Let me know if you have any further questions about what I said in this video or any other video. Feel free to get in touch with me. My contact information in the description box. Lastly, feel free to subscribe, comment, and review. Your support in that regard is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for watching and stay tuned.